Hey y'all, it's your girl Stef back with Teens on the Scenes on Afrovibes TV. And today we got a special guest.
Efuru Corey of Royalty Reigns.
Ooh, I love your name. So tell me a little about it. Where did it come from?
Well, my name it's just a short part of my name, which is Ialarisha Nana Efuru Corey. And that name means mother, she who holds the Calabasas, mother of the children and the fish and the seven seas. It also means divine mother. So it connects to a lot to mother because I'm a mother and I hold many titles, and a lot of those are titles and names. But in my culture, we receive names, divinely given names, and I utilize that name because that name is who I am,
Right.
and it puts me in the places and spaces of that connects with who I am.
Yeah. Okay, I know that's right. So tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, so I am a sustainable designer in Houston, Texas, and also a Reiki practitioner. And a Reiki practitioner is a energy healer where I am a conduit of where energy flows. Energy flows to and builds up the root and brings up the root of any dis-ease or imbalance within the body. A Reiki practitioner also can do this to people, places, and things. And it's not anything that I'm doing. I'm just a conduit of energy where the energy flows. So I connected with fashion, and I also sustainable design, which is redesign pieces sustainably, finding things that you love in your house, textures and different fabrics, and creating things with it. And I've done that my whole life. And my twin sister, which is someone who I represent, Nisha Tashay, because we are identical twins and we shared our life together. And having a twin sister that is an ancestor and sister, I call her, um, the golden one, 'cause as she would say, she calls herself the eldest twin. And so she would laugh with me and tell me that when somebody say how many minutes are y'all apart, and I would say just 3 minutes, and she gonna always let you know before I say it, she gonna let you know that she only 3 minutes apart, younger than me.
Yeah.
But we used to laugh about that because I did. I'm like, she only 3 minutes, like saying her little big sister thing.
Yeah.
She reached it. But I remember the last parts of her life. I remember talking to her, and I said, we were talking, and she said something, and I said, okay, big sister. And she looked at me and she said, you never called me that. And I said, and when she said that, I said she liked that. And so ever since then, I would say, what you say, big sister? Hey, big sister, because I felt that she finally got to, if that's something, the way that she turned around and told me, you never called me that, that meant something. And so I wanted to make her smile and didn't know that, she would transition in 2022, but that's a memory, that's a DNA that we share, and the memories that we share, I get to tell. And I tell them through stories, I tell them through fashion, because who else gonna tell our story?
All right. Okay. So what inspired you to become a clothing designer?
My twin sister, well, okay, let's rewind a little bit, a little back, a little further. When I was growing up, I always play with Barbie dolls, and I love Barbie dolls because I got to dress them, and even just and switch out clothes and things like that. And my twin sister was my twin sister, so she gonna be right there with me. So she got her Barbie dolls, I got my Barbie dolls. We had friends that had Barbie dolls, and we would collaborate all the Barbie dolls and play together. Now we got a bunch of Barbie dolls and a bunch of different clothes. We can dress these dolls, and we played Barbie dolls till we got to high school. And we finally gave it up because we started to learn how to make our own money, and we started to buy our own clothes and develop our own style. And both of us had like similar styles, but we were a little different. But that's when we learned to really see our style, and just having the style that we had, which was me. I was just putting some things together, and people would say like, what made you put that together? I would have never put that together. That looked good on you. How you? And I'm just like, I just put this together. like I didn't know that some people didn't think that they could do that. But I didn't look at it like I just looked at it like I just put things together. And so later on I would have friends in high school, middle school, like, hey, I'm invited to this right here, this wedding. I need you to help me find something to wear. Oh, I'm going on my first date, like things like that. And I was like, and then I would talk to these friends at the mall. I didn't even have to be there. I could just be like, okay, what you trying to wear? I make them find a focal piece that they would want to wear. They want to wear or style me to style them. And so they would go to the mall, and I would literally be on the phone and say, okay, you're gonna need something that's gonna like fluff up the top, or and describe it. And they would go into the stores and find what I would describe to them, and that would be the best outfit. They just loved it. And that was something naturally that I was doing. I didn't know that this was a business. This is what I didn't pay attention to that. I just did it. And so uh then my twin sister, later in our 20s, I started an image consulting business, and I started my sister a interior decorating business, because we would decorate houses and the decor inside and things like that. So we both had the same type of passion in fashion. It was but she went on her own journey as a fashion designer, and I went on my own. So after high school, I ended up I ended up graduating early and not able to take the second part of, any home acting skills. And I was taking cosmetology, and I was just getting, something towards sewing. And I learned basic sewing in high school, actually. But I grew up having a mother that was sewing. She was just sewing. She, never, she didn't sit me down and say, hey, this is how use a sewing machine. I just seen her doing these things. And there was pieces that I loved that she created. And so my in my 20s, I ended up doing the image consulting where I styled people. And but I also end up starting to sew again. But I wasn't sewing like that. It was my twin sister. Like, I would go and help and find the pieces. She would recreate older pieces and repurpose them. And so me and my mom would go every Saturday and go to like thrift stores to find like old pieces that we liked. And my twin sister would piece them together and then end up having a fashion show. One year she put a fashion show on. And of course, me being my twin, I'm going with my sister, she got a fashion show. I'm wherever she needs me. So I went, and I would be in the back with the model saying, hey, you get out there, you rock this, you hear me? And every time, that was my role. If she needed me to do somebody's hair, or if she needed me, so that was me being the stylist of her fashion shows that she would put on. And but not at the sewing machine. I was just good at sewing and putting something together. Like, if you had a top and you wanted it to be a skirt, I was gonna turn it, like, we was gonna stick some sleeves in. We was gonna make you a skirt. And so, like, that's kind of how I create in my pieces. But Nisha, she ended up going to college for fashion. But I ended up just going to a sewing machine. I did children's wear. I started off with a children's line. And the children's line was for my sons because I wanted them to have superhero clothes that looked like us, that reminded us of our culture. And I remember, when my oldest son was having a when he was having this little phase where he wanted superhero clothes, but I was like, no, there's and I'll catch myself buying crayons, brown crayons, and coloring their faces because I'm like, you gonna wear something, you're just gonna have brown on your brown face because we need it to represent you. And so I remember one day, you know, I'm making a long story short because I remember going into a space where I wanted to find more of me, my culture, who I am, like what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. And I went through that stage when I first had my first son. But it's a journey. And the journey is discovering or rediscovering because we have a memory that's impeccable, that we have to tap back into as a people. And for me to have sons that I'm bringing forth and leading, I had to do something. And for me to do something was okay. I remember going into a room, meditating one day, and came back out and had a vision. And the vision was put Africa, start with the continent, and put it on a shirt and show them. And so I created that. And the first one that I created was gold because I had some gold paint. And I knew that if I connect Africa with gold, because that's who we are, like we gold, the golden people. And but that's what I just started to do. So I started my children's line, and that children's line it was the closest that I can get to African fabric because it was like when I first started looking, it was hard to find like the fabric. It was like, I had to but I found something around my house and it was something cultural and I put it on a shirt and I had started having my children wear my pieces. And then I started to sell them. And then I started to create a business online where I was selling T-shirts with children's wear with Africa on the front, in different colors and different parts of Africa. And so people would donate because they knew I was looking for African cultural fabric, real fabric. So people would think of me and they give me fabric. And so I created with that and I put that out into the world. And that was for me to share to my children, what does the continent look like? Because I didn't know. And I didn't, and then end up start creating this and taking it to a whole nother level. And so me starting was a little seeing my mother at the sewing machine sewing our clothes because she didn't sew a lot of our clothes, but when she sewed them, it was like, you know, I didn't, I liked them, but when I'm older now,
Yeah.
I look back at it and I say, wow, I'm doing that right now. I'm taking this vision further. And now, through fashion. So I tell stories through fashion.
Through fashion. Okay. So, what are your favorite types of clothing to design?
I'm really good at like recreating something on site. Like I I can create, like if you call me and you say, "Hey, I got this piece right here. I need something." I could I can't say my favorite clothing because I can recreate anything. I I'm a alchemist, a clothing alchemist, because I could piece some things together um quickly. And I've done it with people and they're just like, dang, I would have never I would have never known that I could do this with it. So do I have favorite pieces right now? I can tell you what my favorite pieces right now are jackets. I'm loving like jackets and blazers and popping the color and putting pins on them. Like I didn't wear pins on my clothes, Nisha did, and so she's making me wear pins, and because she always wore a brooch or pins. Um, but I have her pins. I have pins that are gifted to me. So it's telling her story and my story because I'm still styling myself and and I'm still wearing ancestral pieces. And that's how I look at it now. It's like, okay, I got ancestral pieces. Like these are pieces that are going to be passed down and I can still create from them because there's so many pieces that my sister left for me to recreate. But the funny thing about it was that I would, the pieces that she started already, these are pieces I wanted to talk because we have different lines coming out, which will end up being the same. I end up finding out later because I was like, I can't wait till we do this line because when we do this line, we gonna do this line and this line and this line. And when she passed, I go, I throughout, I'm still finding things. Things are still coming to me. So, and I'm seeing that the same lines that I didn't get a chance to talk to her about, she had already started. All I have to do is complete them. And so this journey as a twin, a veggie, is very interesting to me. It's a journey and this is the business. When we created Royalty Reigns together, it was for us to find our royalty and we was to make it reign, whether we're here on earth or not. So this royalty reign lives forever. It's never going anywhere. And because I'm left here to deliver the message, I can't even say I'm left here because she guides me every step of the way. And it's a legacy that is being built and it's already built. We're just reigning. And that's part of the journey, the fashion journey.
Okay. Okay, so how do you stay updated with the latest fashion trends?
If I want to see what the trends are, I'll just go to social media and I'll find out instantly. Now, I don't be looking for the latest trends. I am too busy just putting on whatever it is that I feel like putting on today. And that's why I say that, like fashion is a part of me and that's what I'm here for. And I'm the creator of fashion. Fashion is, anybody can create fashion. All you're doing is expressing yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite part about being a fashion designer?
I'll be able to tell a story. I can create it in ways that is meaningful and impactful and inspiring. And creating a legacy and having that story to tell because this is the time and I must share it.
Right. Okay. So what's your least favorite part about being a fashion designer?
That everybody wants you to say, "Oh, maybe you can style me," and then it's like you can't style everybody. But I'm definitely here for it. It's just that, I'm only one person, but although I share many different talents, that's and a lot of the time it takes a lot of time, but it's easy in such a way that it takes a lot of energy if you put too much into it.
All right. Okay. So what makes you a great designer?
What makes me a great designer?
Yeah.
Because I'm unique. I'm different. You will never find any designers like me.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your greatest strength as a fashion designer?
Styling people.
Styling people. Okay, what's your greatest weakness as a fashion designer?
Sometimes I don't want to style people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, no, thank you.
Okay, so in your opinion, which celebrities have a great sense of style and why?
I say Michael B. Jordan as a man because, I'm really into men's styles these days. And Michael B. Jordan, he has a style that is different, it's just different. Like you haven't seen it before on any man. Right. And the things he wears stands out. And I pay attention to detail. And so when I see something different, I'm like, oh, okay. So I mean, he has different mind, because it shows your expression. You're expressing yourself. So if you're wearing pieces that are different and nobody ever seen before, that means you thought of, you said, I'm gonna put that on.
Yeah.
Even if somebody styles you still gotta accept it and be like, try it on. So, and that shows a lot of character.
Okay. So how do you handle networking and building professional relationships?
Handling networking is it's easy for me when I'm, make the time and put it on the calendar to do, because it's very important. It's how you keep the business flowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's networking. And what was the other question?
Building professional relationships.
Building professional relationships. Oh, I mean, professional resource. Well, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Professional relationships are resources, and if we're here to share, our resources, and that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how I see it.
Okay. So what's the most rewarding feedback you've ever received from a customer or client?
I have quite a few. Okay, so thank you. You transformed my life. Made me see things differently, which brings happiness within my being, my whole being, to where it helps somebody. But that's one of them. But to top it off, that's the top of it, because that's what I'm here for, and that, to me, that's fulfilling to me. That makes me feel good about being here on earth. It makes me feel like I'm really doing something.
Right. Okay. So what advice would you give to someone starting in your field?
Don't give up. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Keep it on, because it's a journey, and it builds up inner strength. Just know that part. We can have enough outer strength, but when it comes to the inner strength, it's very important. So you just have to have courage and have faith in yourself. Faith is that little mustard seed in your God self, so that, because everything is abundantly, given to you.
All right. Okay. So what's the biggest change you've seen in your industry over the years?
Say that again.
What's the biggest change you've seen in your industry over the years? The biggest change.
I do see a lot of fashion shows with twins now.
Yeah.
And I see sustainable fashion. And I see lots of cultural fashion. It's like, whoa.
Right.
Okay. I appreciate it. But I'm thankful and grateful that, I was set to understand what was given to me to share with the world. And now it's shared.
Right.
So that's one. That's many.
Okay. Well, yeah, we will be on commercial break, so we will be back. Hey y'all, so we're back from commercial break, and I just want to talk about what her sister Miss Nisha left with me. She was basically just letting me know, well, it was like a casting call, right? Like a casting call. We was at a casting call, and basically my mom was just like explaining to her what I do and like how long I've been modeling for and just the stuff about that. And like she told my mom, she was like, I can speak for myself, like I can advocate for myself. And she basically just had me tell her exactly what my mom was saying, but speak for myself instead. So yeah, it stuck with me. And that was really the only conversation we had. So yeah.
So that message was powerful.
Yeah, very.
And we're here doing what?
Speaking.
Okay. Shay. Yes, that is so beautiful.
Yeah. So back to the question. So what was the most rewarding part about your job? Well, what is the most rewarding part?
Oh, what is my most rewarding part about my...
Well, basically like designing stuff like that. Okay.
That it tells a story.
To send a message.
It inspires people to to know that it could happen to them,
Right.
and they could fulfill their destiny on earth.
Okay. So, what's one trend you're excited about in your industry?
One trend, like,
Could be anything.
um the baggy pants thing.
Baggy pants.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a big trend now. Yeah, it used to be like skinny jeans or something like that, but now it's more baggy.
Yeah, I appreciate that in women and men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I mean, because I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, I feel that's where I am right now. It's just like all those things I dreamed of is living it.
Right.
And so you just really follow your dreams, like really do it.
Okay.
And continue to do it.
Positive message. So, what advice would you give to someone starting your field?
Starting what?
In your field. Like what you do.
Oh. I would say it's your world. You create, and whatever it is, no matter what anybody say, that comes from inside of you. It comes out. You create. That's what you hear. That's what you about. So follow your dreams. Follow that first mind, because that first mind is gonna always win.
All right. Okay. So, what's one habit that has helped you succeed?
Being disciplined, really determination,
Right.
and just the action. Really, just doing it. Just do it.
Okay. Just do it, y'all.
Just do it.
So, what are you most excited about in the future of your industry?
The innovation, the creations, the new creations. Because I get visions every day, and it's like I have so many that I still have the visions and the things that Nisha and I put together. I still have to push those. But it's coming together because it's mine, and it's still my visions and hers. But mine are today, and hers are, further than I could even imagine. But it's the journey, and experiencing it, and being able to share that part with the world is very sacred, and it's very important, because it has to be shared, and the story has to be told.
Okay. So, what role does technology play in your work?
In my work, the creations. I love technology. Like, I'm that tech girl, and I mix it with the fashion, which makes it so fun, and it makes it so, futuristic, and I'm here for that.
Right. Okay. So, what's one thing you'd like to change about your industry?
The the position that the models have to receive in that world, from the stories that are shared with me and the stories that are told. You have the positive side and you have the negative side, but the negative side, it hurts. And and me being a Reiki practitioner and being around models all the time, I feel, what they've been through, what they go through, what they don't share, and what they do share. So being able to be that person, that's why I'm grateful for me being that one that was always in the back. But I never really paid attention to what's going on around me, the other models. All I knew is that I'm here to help my sister, and I'm going to boost these models' confidence and push them out there and make them just go out there and rock it. But being in that position to where I'm behind the scene, I'm actually a twin sustainable fashion designer, which I came out and did with my twin sister in 2022. So we was coming out as twin designers, sustainable designers. And that part of me was just, it's all the experience. And so it just comes out through the expressions of me, the many.
Okay. So how has failure shaped your career?
Failure. See, people don't tell you about the failure part. You know, people see the successful part and they think that the successful part is, you know, once you went through all they forgot about the failures that, you know, they don't really hear those sides until. And the part of that is, you know, when you feel like you fail, you just be determined to, you know, what's the problem? How can I create the solution for it? And creating the solution for me, you know, I failed many times, but I rise too. And I understand the difference. And I also know what I need to do at that time. You know, when I feel like I'm failing, I'm going to look for, okay, so how can I flip this and make this work for me? Because my failure is mine from my perspective. Failure to everybody else is not the same. And to themselves, it's not going to be the same as that. Our success is the same. I mean, not the same. And because success is who you are, is who you become into your being. And so failure is just, you know, just like you fall on the floor, you bump yourself, you get back up. And so, and that's how I see it.
Okay. So what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
A legacy that lives forever, a legacy that is our children will read about in the future and be proud and understand and know who they are.
Okay. So what do you think is the future of your field?
Technology through fashion and storytelling.
Okay. So what's one project or accomplishment you're particularly proud of?
Um, I'm proud of learning financial literacy.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'm proud of that because that was that to me, that's the core of living, you know, and sustaining a wealth within a lineage and generations and generations and generations. And that right there was not taught. It was not taught in the schools. It was not taught, you know, from my mother, my father, my grandmothers, you know. So me knowing this is um I'm able to learn that so that I could pass this on to my sons and their sons and their children and their daughters and their lineage, and my great 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 grandchildren will come up in a world where it's not the same as mine was, which is more futuristic, and but it's rooted in legacy, it's rooted in wealth, it's rooted in the power of who we are.
Right.
And so that's what it is.
Okay. Well, yeah, also me too. Like I have experience because I was able to take a financial literacy class. So yeah, that was good.
Oh, give thanks for your mother, because that's beautiful. Like, and that's what I desire for my children. Like, I love for them to say, and I see that day, you know, when they say, oh, that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I seen. You know, that's my mom. That's how my mom talked about it. That's all I know, you know, and these type of conversations are going to be had in the future of the generations to come.
Hmm. So, um, what's one skill you think everyone should develop?
Financial literacy.
Okay.
We got to, okay. No ifs and buts about it. Like out the womb. The babies better be talking about.
All right. Okay. So, what's a skill you're currently working on improving?
Um connecting with the parts of me that I don't recognize. You know, they're different. They're, you know, it's a new life for me. I've never been I mean, I still talk about my twin every day, but I don't see her, you know, and and then it's always been, oh, you're a twin, you're a twin. But now it's like sometimes if I don't say nothing to new people and people in the world, they won't know. But how can I not talk about her if she's a part of me? And so, and that's that has to be a learned skill because I can't. It's just, we still connected. I mean, we're here. You telling me what my sister, the last thing, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What my sister told you, I didn't know that. But I still connect with it. And to me, it's like, she lived that legacy. And I'm living that legacy. And we are still living that legacy because I get to still hear the stories. And just that, and how short was that conversation?
Like 5 minutes.
And it was impactful. Yeah. And that's beyond the most beautiful thing for me because she still gets fulfilled through me because that's fulfilling for me, and that's part of me as well.
Okay, so what are some core values you live by?
Be honest with yourself and find something for me, it's always finding something. I'm challenging myself. What am I doing something different that I've never done before? And recognizing that and being present to enjoy that moment and not moving so fast. Really embracing life and enjoying life for myself. Yeah. Not by myself, but physically
For yourself.
For myself.
Okay. So what's next for you?
Okay, so I am still a fashion designer, sustainable designer. I'm hosting basic sewing classes and sound vibe.
I need that.
And that, yes, on Sundays at 4 p.m. And I am teaching what I know. And teaching what I know is what I've learned and what I've experienced, and which brought me to who I am, which helps me along the way, which things I didn't know I have to share. And that's life for me. That's a beautiful life. And it doesn't matter what space I'm in, I still share whatever it is and it helps people. And so I do basic sewing classes. I also do them online as well. I teach and certify Reiki practitioners. I also do style sessions, on-site style sessions. I also have been styling for some actors and music artists. And I also am an artist. I do digital designs and I do canvases. I paint and I create with a fabric. Okay. And so I teach those classes. I teach how to create with your hands and through fabric. And so I teach those classes in different spaces, and I also teach them at the boutique.
Okay. Well, y'all, that is it. So is there anything else you want to let them know about?
You can go to royaltyreigns.ai and you can click register and you can sign up for them basic sewing classes and check everything else out. They have many services that'll help you. I have a new ebook that's there. It's called How to Turn Grief to Gold. People look at me and they think that they don't know, how I get through it. And I'm so strong and I appreciate that that gives me strength to hear that. But also know that I'm still soft and I still am human, and I express my grief. I turn my grief into gold. And my twin sister, she was all about the gold. She gonna sprinkle gold on you. She gonna always have gold on you. She's always gifting people. And that's me too. So I'm still here doing the things that I love, and I want people to share that and be a part of that.
Okay. Well, you can shout out your Instagram.
My Instagram is royaltyreigns.ai. Everything is .ai because I'm here for the future. Okay. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not. I'm here for it and I'm here to create it. And, you got to jump on. You got to jump on.
Okay. Well, you already know y'all can find me on Instagram at steph.model underscore stef.model underscore and my modeling workshop page, Model Diva Stefania, MODELDIVASTEFANIA. Thank you for watching. Go tune in to Teens on the Scenes on Afrovibes TV. Thank you.